Thank you for the men and women who serve our country in government, these commissioners and other workers who use their time and energy to better the lives of others. Thank you for those who serve in our military and in the public sector as first responders. I pray that you would watch over their lives and the lives of their families. God, we recognize right now there are those that are hurting in our world, suffering under the pain of poverty and persecution. We remember the people in Ukraine and the citizens in places like China and Russia. And while we don't share the same struggles or the same freedoms, we do share the reality of having you, Almighty God, as our source of life and strength. And so I pray that your presence and comfort will be felt for those experiencing their darkest times. God, we recognize that in our country and in our state and in here in beautiful Martin County, we are blessed with abundance. And we know that this blessing is not just for our enjoyment, but that you filled our cups to overflowing so that we can pour out, so that we can shine bright, so that we can be a blessing to others. And so, God, we seek your face today, your wisdom today. Would you lead us and give us success as we submit to your word and your way? I pray this in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, this morning we have, and sorry, let me rewind just a little bit. We have an additional item this morning, consent item number 7, adopt a proclamation designating March 2022 as Irish American Heritage Month in Martin County. We have no consent polls. Can we get a motion to approve the agenda?
Mr. Chair, I'll move approval of the agenda with the additional item, consent number 7.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All is opposed. Motion carries unanimously. As I said before, we have no consent polls. We do have 2 proclamations this morning. We have the first item up. You want to?
The first item up is the Commissioner's Challenge Media Contest, and Michelle Miller is here. She's going to introduce this item.
Good morning.
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
I'm here this morning and happy to introduce to you Jeff Cadell, our project facilitator for our Community Action Coalition. He's going to come up and he's going to introduce our winners, and then you're going to have the opportunity to see their good work that they've done. So thank you. Jeff?
Good morning, and thank you for the time. As many of you know, over the past few years, teen vaping in Martin County has become a bit of a concern, and fortunately for us, the Martin County Community Action Coalition was formed to address such concerns. So when we had a meeting and the idea of an anti-vaping messaging campaign came around, we jumped at the opportunity and started to do that. So over the past couple of months, particularly through January, we had a number of teen submissions, which was a great response, much larger than we had anticipated. And each of those was reviewed by a judge panel, and we were fortunate to choose some winners from that. Each of the winners received some cash prizes from All About Achieving as well as Elevate Hope, and they also received some time on the 3D printer at the Martin County Library System, so that's great. But I wanted to get right to it and introduce some of our winners. Unfortunately, the 3rd place winner from Jensen Beach High School, Philip Henson, isn't here, but I would like to recognize him for sure. And I also want to recognize our 2nd place winner from Felix A. Williams Elementary School, great Gabriel Torres. And our 1st place winner from Martin County High School, Delaney Hodler. We'd love to show you all the videos, but we're just going to show you the winning video at this time, and I think there it is. Thank you.
Hey, you want to buy a stick?
Got any, Nick?
Do you want to take a puff?
You may have heard one of these phrases around your school before, but here are some side effects of vaping.
Vapes have been known to cause cancers and other diseases such as popcorn lung. They contain dangerous chemicals. It's not just water vapor. Do you really want that going in your lungs? If you vape, it could be the last breath that you take. Just don't do it.
Nice. I think you needed one more doorway. Just one more doorway to pop out of it would have been really cool. That's great.
So we're really excited about continuing this. Special thanks to Commissioner Ellington for sparking the idea and the support of the entire county commission. So once again, these are your winners, and thanks for the support.
Nice.
Do you want a photo, Commissioner Hetherington, and have the winners come up?
Please.
Laura's here, she'll
Be-
take a
be-
picture.
Before we do any of that, Commissioner Hetherington would like to say a few words.
I just want to thank all the participants. I mean, we had, over 25 different submissions from all different age groups, from all different schools, and they were all fantastic. I got to view all of them. They were all really fantastic. And I think it takes, this has been a passion of mine because we know that it's on the rise, teenage vaping. I also have teenagers in the school. They tell me stories. So it takes a lot of integrity and courage for peers to stand up against something. So congratulations. I'm very proud of all of you and all of the submissions. And a special thanks to Tina McSorley from All About Achieving, and then Rena, you mentioned, from Elevate Hope, who provided the cash prizes. So congratulations. You should be very proud of yourself. I would love to.
And if you all hold on, she's going to come down, if that's okay. Nice.
Good job.
And Laura, I think the next item we have is Proclamation 2, presented proclamation previously approved via the consent agenda, Florida Bicycle Month and Bike to Work Day. And I believe that we have Commissioner McDonald in the audience. Troy, you want to come on up?
Correct. Bicycling is an enjoyable, viable, and environmentally sound form of transportation, as well as an excellent form of physical activity and recreation. Martin County has been working on many different initiatives to make the bicycling experience more inviting, comfortable, and safe for all ages and abilities. In recognition of March 11th as Bike to Work Day and the month of March as Florida Bicycle Month, the board encourages residents and visitors to explore the benefits of biking. Commissioner McDonald?
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to March and Florida Bicycle Month. My name is Troy McDonald, and for 10-plus years, I've been an active cyclist here in Martin County. As a City of Stuart Commissioner and the chair of the Martin County Metropolitan Planning Organization, also known as the MPO, promoting cycling is important to the community. You may be wondering why we are celebrating in March instead of May when National Bike Month occurs. Given the Sunshine State's ideal weather this time of year, the Florida Bicycle Association designated the month of March as Florida Bicycle Month. During this month, events are held around the state to introduce bicycling to new riders and showcase the health and wellness benefits of cycling. The Martin MPO and South Florida Commuter Services, a program of the Florida Department of Transportation and the City of Stuart, are planning a bicycle ride for employees that live or work in and around downtown Stuart this Friday, March 11th, to celebrate Florida Bike Month and Bike to Work Day in Martin County. We are extending an invitation to all of you and county staff to attend. The event starts at 7 a.m. And the group ride begins at 7:30 a.m. at Memorial Park, located at 100 East Ocean Boulevard in Stuart. We have organized a 4.1 mile loop that It enables employees of Martin County, City of Stewart, and other employers in the downtown area to celebrate bicycling as a clean, fun, and healthy way to get to work. We hope to see you there. Thank you so much for allowing me to accept this proclamation and for supporting bicycling as a healthy option for transportation in our community. And if any of you guys need a bike, I have an extra one or two. I'd be happy to loan it to. I know Stacy has a bike, so hope to see you guys out there 7 a.m. Friday morning.
That's the scary part. Isn't it dark out? I know. I don't sleep anymore. I used to be like 7. Now it's like 5:30 in the morning. I'm already moving in my mind.
It's old age, Ed.
I know. Well, I don't drink soda anymore either. So. But I'm still awake till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm a night person.
Okay, Taryn?
You ready for public comment? Our public comment, everyone is limited to 3 minutes. You will hear a buzzer at 2 minutes and 45 seconds. That is your opportunity to wrap up. Then you'll have 15 seconds and your time will be over. Thank you for your cooperation.
Thank you. First up, we have Sharon Masiglia from Trailside, and then Diane Meyer following her. Good morning.
Morning, my name is Sharon Masalia. I live in Trailside. I know the county is aware, and we've made multiple complaints to the Martin County Sheriff's.
Can you just get a little bit closer to the mic? Sorry, thank you.
That's okay. We've made multiple complaints or reports with Martin County Sheriff's Department regarding the shooting that's happening in Palmar. At this point, we feel like our lives and the lives of our livestock out there are in danger because they are shooting out there regardless of safety. And they don't have correct backstops. Maybe a few of them do, but we know that that was done illegally because there's not supposed to be any fill or landfill going in that area. They've impacted the wetlands back there. We're responsible to hold up our end of our deal with our wetlands and our PAMP with you, and we're held to strict guidelines on that. They're doing whatever they want back there. They're destroying the land. They're running their ATVs through there. I can't use our bridle path on the south end for fear that either we'll be shot or that they're going to run the ATVs by, freak the horses out, and somebody's going to end up in one of the drainage canals. Last year, on March 17th, we're almost on an anniversary, we had a catastrophic fire out there that spread from that area. Due to their lack of concern, not putting a fire out, or was it sparked by firearms itself? We don't know, but we almost lost 3 structures in Trailside. Martin County Fire Department did a phenomenal job getting it out, but it was very, very scary. I had to lock the horses down in the barn. Thank God we have fire extinguishers in the barn, that I have an automatic sprinkler system. I had ashes flying into the barn. I don't know how much you guys spent on that, but I'm sure it was a phenomenal amount of money because we had helicopters out there dumping water out of our ponds to put it out. It was really scary. Back when I grew up here, things were different, and I realize that. There's a lot that has changed in Martin County. I'm not opposed to gunfire or shooting. However, it has to be done safely. And when we were young, we used to go shoot at C-23 Canal in Palm City. It was a normal thing. We'd go out on the weekends and go play bang bang shoot 'em up and do target practice out there. As it developed, it was shut down. We were not allowed to do that anymore for the safety of the people and the homeowners. We're asking for the same respect out there. We pay a significant amount of taxes in this county. They're not paying taxes out there. That property is undesignated. I don't know what's going on with it. It should be stopped. And I'm sorry that people invested in that. Buyer beware. I would appreciate the same concern from you that you put for any other people in the Martin County area. This wouldn't happen in Sewell's Point. This wouldn't happen out in the Savannas, across from Sugar Hill. So why is it happening out there? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Diane?
Good morning. Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Diane Meyer, and I'm also a resident of Trailside. And I'm a property owner that is fearing for her life, fearing for the family's life. We have been requested to protect our wetlands. It's a nursing area for sandhill crane, for the storks, for the egrets, for the woodpeckers, for all God's creatures. And we are an equestrian community. Unfortunately, this shooting range that's taking place at Paul Mar is on wetlands. Wetlands are being destroyed. And we, frankly, fear for our lives living in a community where there's gunshots almost daily being taken place over there. We ask you to please consider protecting the wetlands there, protecting our lives, and stop the shooting that's taking place at Paul Mar. Appreciate your help on this.
Thank you, ma'am. Next up is Kyla Shea Crozen. Good morning.
Morning. Commissioners,
Good morning.
I'm back. I'm Kyla Shea Crozen. I'm the president of Trailside. I'm going to build on what the others have said. Yes, we did have a catastrophic fire that was started there. Obviously, that area is being targeted. About a month and a half ago, we had a barn that was targeted while the lot owner was inside their barn. The bullets came through the wall. They're 1.5 inches diameter. Had he been standing there, we'd be at his funeral. I'm aware that a letter went out from Martin County on January 27th to all of the property owners there. It's March 8th. What's being done? We've been told by the Sheriff's Department, any of us walking, biking, or driving on Trailside Path could be shot. What are you all going to do? We're waiting.
So please don't go anywhere, and we'll get through public speaking, then we'll come back to this conversation. Ms. Goyana Ferreira? Followed by Tom Pine.
Good morning, all of you, and good morning, Martin County families. My name is Goiana Ferreira, and I have two big proposals for today. One is to close 3 convenience stores here in Martin County, 2 located right here by Stewart Middle School, one by Ocean Boulevard, and one by Martin Luther King. They sell vape, nicotine, tobacco, cigarettes. They have alcoholic drinks right beside our middle school. And we need to close them today. So if you please get together, make a proper paper and close them down and ask them to sell fruits and vegetables, fresh fruits and vegetables, because teens and kids are getting addicted from these 2 places, and up to the moment nobody did everything, so I really appreciate that. So the other place, it's down Golden Gate on Dixie Highway, the gas station that have there. The owner tried to talk to few people there, tried to talk to illegal people many times for them to have proper classes, apply for citizenship, and nothing has been done. They have to be closed, and please, if you can do that today, will be all appreciated, because they let illegal people work there, and all those fancy pickup trucks come and get illegal people without giving them proper training. Those people work in roofs, in construction, they are breathing cement, and no training, no health insurance, no care, nothing. They come in, they get $150, $200, they are happy with that situation, they don't want to apply for citizenship. And the owners of those companies don't want to apply citizenship for them too, so please close them down. They blocked me to go there. The police was there in a few minutes, but they still doing illegal thing. I was not doing anything illegal. I cannot go to that property, but they can still doing illegal things. So please consider, let's get together today after this meeting and sign those papers for these 3 convenience stores, because they are not right, not positive, not doing good things. The second proposal is for us to plant organic edible gardens at all Martin County parks. Many people in Martin County are really sick, even children and teens. Obesity, cholesterol, diabetes, ADD, ADHD, anxiety, and depression. They study in school 6 hours inside rooms, right? Most of our kids, they do not have yet many outside learning games. So I offer myself to be, for free, to be the director of Martin County Edible Gardens and Agroforestry. For us to plant, to invite those local residents to run, to work out.
Ma'am, your time's up. Thank you.
Oh, it's 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Tom Pine. Following Tom Pine, Frank Whitson. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name's Tom Pine. I live in the Jensen Beach area. I've been a resident of Martin County for nearly 50 years. Over the past few weeks in particular, more people have come up to me in public and asked me to continue to speak. They say I speak for them and they don't feel they have a place in our government. The first time I spoke at this commission was 2018 about men working in trenches with none of the basic safety measures in place on Indian River Drive in the Ocean Breeze Park area. When working on roadsides, it's very difficult to hide the dangers from the public. I showed pictures of the men in the trenches at the Martin County Commission meeting, and our county government did absolutely nothing. And the project continued with no changes. This was a Martin County project. Now take a look around at all the construction going on in Martin County. It seems that every single construction site is wrapped in at least a 6-foot-high fence and covered in a cloth so that the general public can't see with any clarity what is going on inside. Often, after the deep groundwork is complete, the cloth coverings are removed to show off the project that it's under construction. Past few weeks I've been watching the progress at the new school under construction in Jensen Beach, not the building but the new drainage system that is being installed on the south side of the existing school and the playground. I can't see clearly to make a clear assessment, but it appears men have been working in potential dangerous situations without any real measure being taken for their safety. The thing that bothers me the most is about the situation is how the big spenders on this commission always go on and on about safety for fire rescue, but when it's the average person working in Martin County, safety has no meaning. I find that sick is disturbing that safety in Martin County is only for the chosen few. People like me are just disposable because I'm only a construction worker. I don't make enough money, and I may not vote right. Sad. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Mr. Whitson. Following Mr. Whitson is Frank McChrystal.
Frank Whitson, Skyline Drive residents. I'd like to propose a pilot project for public safety on Skyline Drive and other streets in Skyline Heights. Due to totally inept actions by drivers, especially during this construction period when railroad crossing is closed in downtown Jensen Beach. I'm proposing more signage for saying limited sight distance, more speed limit signs, particularly ones that can be solar powered, like ones down by Ocean Breeze Park, with license plate readers where people can get warnings and or citations for excessive speed. Also, the installation of 4-inch high rubber speed tables diagonally across the roads, on Skyline particularly. It's been a drag strip down through there. Each wheel on the corner of the vehicle will hit the speed bump at a different time, definitely slowing people down. Instances: northbound vehicle passing 3 other northbound vehicles, that was in the southbound lane, speeding past approximately 60 to 65 miles per hour in front of my house. A golf cart, 7-year-old driving, can't even sit on the seat. Where's the adult with the child sitting on the back seat having father-daddy bonding time while facing southbound toward Jensen Boulevard? I was deliberately targeted for retaliation because somebody got a speeding ticket. Their vehicle was described to sheriff's deputies. Deputies have parked on my property, backed into my driveway. That deputy peeled out and went southbound after a vehicle of interest. And the retaliation part, I'm coming from the north, from the church south, past Jeanette, Sandra and Zelda. I look at my rearview mirror over my tailgate. All I can see is the hood and the fenders of the vehicle behind me that got the ticket for 45 in a 25 mile per hour zone. It will not stop once the detour has been, taken away, and it's been going on for years. And I'm not the only one who's been calling in. Sheriff's Department says keep on calling. They've got over 100 calls or more, and if it was so bad, my brother and I would even call almost as soon as one of us got off the phone for another incident in front of a house. And that's not counting other.
Sir, your time's up. Thank
further
you.
down the-
Your time's up. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Whitson. Mr. McChrystal is the last public speaker form we have. If anybody else would like to speak this morning, please fill one of these out, get it to the bailiff, and after Frank, we'll close it out.
Good morning. I'll be brief. I know you have a very long day today. Before I forget, the main reason I came, I visited my mom in South River Sunday, and she's a happy lady. They got her on the happy pills. She's always happy. Anyways, I'm pulling in, and I see the new right-hand turn sign with the flashing light, and I want to thank you for getting at least something done there. It was it's a little thing, but it's a big difference. It was, because I'm like, I didn't drive by it. Anyways, I joked with Troy on the way out. I said, the way things are going, bicycles are going to be a mandatory, faster way to get to work around this place real soon. So I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I've been watching this show, what is it, Yellowstone. And I see so many parallels between us, and that show. Everything we seem to do seems to be for the big people that are coming to be here, right? And but to come here and hear this discussion this morning about bullets flying, you can't make this stuff up, okay? And that's about it. I hope you can survive your long day today. Have a good one.
You say we need a train station?
Great reference. That's the last public speaking form I have. Start with Commissioner Jenkins this morning. You have anything this morning?
No, but I suspect we're going to talk about Palmar, so I probably have a little bit to say about that.
Okay. Commissioner Hetherington?
No, I'll just reference Mr. McChrystal's comment. We did get our South River right-hand turn lane sign in, and as you know, we've been working on the traffic light, the right-hand turn lane, and then more recently that the sign indicating the right-hand turn is coming up. So the sign was actually been installed, and apparently the neighborhood is very pleased. So I thank all of you for your support in getting that done, and we're going to keep on marching on to get our traffic light. Thank you.
Commissioner Campy.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to take a moment to congratulate Martin County High School boys varsity basketball team. They are the 6A state champions, and so that's very exciting. And I know that to parallel, the Jensen Beach boys wrestling team also is state champions. So I saw Ed Killer in the Stewart News had a title calling this Title Town, and I think that's an apropos. We are definitely state champions. For a smaller county to have these success is a testament to the families that live here, the coaches, the teachers, the players. So congratulations to all, and hopefully in the future, Mr. Chair, we can bring them in like we did, because we also have, the state Little League North State champions, and they went to the World Series. So a lot of exciting things for our Martin County youth, and I just wanted to congratulate them.
I'm set.
Okay, so two things this morning. Why don't we start off with Palomar, and then we'll finish up with the second item. One thing I guess I would suggest to the residents, thank you, first of all, for coming and sharing with us your personal stories. We have been actively engaged in trying to organize Palomar for a very long time. Things have changed out there dramatically in the last year and a half, 2 years, and unfortunately it's at your doorstep. And so what I would encourage you to do, because we are doing the full court press on our end of this side, it may not seem that way maybe to those of you. We do have some litigation going on currently, or no?
We have a litigation about the tax, the special assessment, but we have been, and I can also bring in Mr. Donaldson on this as well, we have an active group of county department heads and officials. We meet regularly. We, as the speaker I think mentioned today, we sent out the letter. We've had some response from it. Mr. Donaldson got most of those letters. We've also sent folks from our county staff to go out and meet with folks. I think we've coordinated with the Sheriff's Department. Most recently, I know the Capital Projects, not Capital Projects, Ecosystems has been coordinating also with Palm Beach County. They are ramping up. Their sheriff has ramped up with enforcement, and we're looking at whether or not we can tighten up some of our ordinances to see if we can go after that. As far as people, this would be more in the area of a trespass. We can't do much about firearms. That's preempted by the state, but we can coordinate with the sheriff, and we can deal with folks that are trespassing on county-owned property, which is important, or South Florida Water Management District, or otherwise in public ownership. And
So-
I don't know if Don wants to add.
Before Dawn does, and the reason why I went to Sarah, and then we can go to Dawn, some of what we can talk about publicly, we can share with you, some we can't. But I think in Sarah's outline, and Dawn can add to it, there's certainly a tremendous amount of work that is going into this. What I would ask of you all, and again, thank you for coming here, is to communicate with the governor's office. The state has lots of acquisition funds. We are actively in the process of trying to acquire all of Palomar to both protect it, clean it up, and preserve it for generations to come. And so we have been communicating with the state for quite some time. There are some things we have done to try to put ourselves in a better position with the state. But by all means, the stories that you shared with us this morning, I would put in writing, and I would share them with the governor. And also our delegation, so that they are fully aware of what's going on. They may be or they may not be, but the heightened awareness of what is going on will certainly, I hope, draw a little bit more attention to the governor's office and the state land acquisition program to accelerate that process some. With that, I would turn it over to Don, and if he has any additional comments.
Yes, Don Donaldson, Deputy County Administrator. On January 27th, the county put together a letter that was signed by myself that went to the landowners in Palomar. What precipitated this letter was the fact that we have been witnessing a significant increase in unauthorized activities going on the property. Now, Palomar is a collection of thousands of lots that were purchased by many people back in the 50s and 60s, and their heirs and such have still have them, and some of them have been resold more recently, and so those property owners have some property rights. but given their configuration and location, the ability to get building permits is obviously very difficult. So in the event, we have seen this increase in activities, and which is, constructing structures, other types of things without permission. The condition of the use of firearms is, we've been working with the sheriff, and that's what they're looking to help enforce. And so we sent a letter to the property owner simply advising them, providing notice that just because this is land that appears to be open and you may have some rights to be within Palmar by ownership, doesn't mean that you can construct or do excavation or filling, et cetera, without a permit. So the letter, and I'll just read one sentence. This letter serves as notification that Martin County is authorized to commence enforcement actions to ensure wetlands and uplands are fully restored, and to begin procedures to condemn and demolish structures erected in violation of the building code. But there's a lot more to the letter than that, but just that simply illustrates that we wanted to advise property owners that this is not property that you can do what you want with. And as such, we've been receiving many calls and inquiries from property owners, many of them out of state. What does this mean? I'm not doing anything, but we do know some folks are. So this was a letter to warn that we will be taking action. And of course, it will be the property owner. Doesn't matter who constructed it, it'll be the property owner wherever the structure is found who we will take enforcement action against. So we have a team of folks working on this. There's a lot of other complicated things that Commissioner Jenkins is aware of how people get access. Once they are on their private property, they have a right to be there. How they get there is complicated with Palmar, and then what they do out there is also limited. They don't have an unlimited ability to do what they want. And so how we enforce that moving forward together with the sheriff and our own staff, it's for our own staff safety, we've been working with the sheriff because there is a lot of folks who are going out there to thinking that it's they can hunt and four-wheel and do what they want, but there's limitations.
I'm sorry. You want to go first? You want?
Oh, of course, go ahead.
Commissioner Jenkins?
Well, I just want to assure the residents that I actually sit on the Palmar Water Control Board with the commissioner from Palm Beach County and 3 landholder representatives. I can assure you that Martin County is as engaged with this as they've ever been. Commissioner Hurd also sat on that board in the past and is very up to speed of the challenges that we have. And Commissioner Smith's been dealing with this for a very long time. So I can assure you that this board, all 5 of us, are fully engaged with the challenges of Palmar. I had a meeting actually yesterday to try to bring a citizen that is trying to write some public outreach to make Martin County residents aware of those challenges. We spent an hour and a half and probably scratched about 20% of what we got going on. And that's going to be a little bit of a long process to even be able to come up with a couple of paragraphs to condense it down to the point that anybody can really understand what we're doing. So I, for one, fully engaged. Our ecosystems are fully engaged with code enforcement, the sheriff's department, and we're working to an end. What that end is, we don't know. So anyway, that's that.
Was?
I think Commissioner Jenkins already or just mentioned what else the county will be doing. With the point of the letter was to put people on notice that this is not allowed on the property, to let them know what they could and couldn't do on their property. And the next step is in connection with the sheriff and in coordination with the sheriff, we'll use code enforcement. But as we all know, code enforcement is a process that we have to go through bit by bit and notify people. And again, one of the challenges, this is not an excuse, I'm just saying one of the challenges is it's because these are unplatted lots, a lot of them are, or all of them are meets and bounds where they've been haphazardly divided. The challenge is to make sure we figure out who owns what, on what property, so that we have something that'll stick, because we don't just want to go in there blindly and then not have any good results. So while I do understand that it appears it's taking time, it's a complicated set of facts, and we're trying to do our best to have a permanent solution to this very serious problem.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Trailside residents, and you don't look like you're satisfied with our answers, and I certainly understand your dissatisfaction with our remedies, but you also have to understand jurisdictions and the things that the county can do. We have ability to enforce trespassing and unpermitted structures and things like that. We don't have jurisdiction over the sheriff. The sheriff is his own boss. So these problems that you're talking about are enforcement issues, and they have to be solved by the sheriff's department. And we're not his boss. So just be mindful of that. We can't step outside of our jurisdiction, and we just don't have jurisdiction in some cases.
In addition to what Commissioner Hurd just said, there's also FWC involved, the Water Management District's involved, the state's clearly involved. There's a lot of moving parts, and I'm sure I agree with Sarah, the looks on your face are this isn't good enough and we want action. We all get it. But there is a process that we are working through, and I know that that's not what you want to hear, but there is a process. But you being here today is a huge help, and again, I would ask of you, all of you, to put your own personal words down and communicate with the governor's office. It will help a lot. The agencies can be copied on those communications, but to let you know that they are fully engaged. It's not as if somebody's taking, this as a light issue. Sarah, can we talk about where we are with our being back on the board ever, that issue where it's gone to the Supreme Court, or no?
Of course, it's public record. The lawsuit that we're talking about with the Hope St. Lucie Water Control District, but which affects Palmar, and I'm just going to be painting this with a very broad brush. We joined with the district back in, I think it was 17 or 18, the South Florida Water Management District, who had formed the opinion that the local government was not subject to the special assessment. The county and the district were successful in the circuit court here in Martin County. Hope St. Lucie appealed it to the 4th District. The 4th District reversed, but noted another district court's opinion that may have been in conflict. We with the South Florida Water Management District have requested that the Supreme Court look at it. Whether or not the Supreme Court does that is anyone's guess. If the Supreme Court says no, thank you, then of course what that will mean is the county will need to, and the district will need to pay their special assessments. And at that point, the reason we didn't have a vote for the homeowners portion was that the interpretation was if you hadn't paid the taxes or the special assessments, you didn't get a vote. And so just to make it clear, we weren't paying the assessments because we had a court judgment saying we didn't have to. But if the court tells us that we are subject to the assessments, then of course we will follow the court and pay the assessments. That should be happening soon. I can't predict exactly when, but it may happen sooner than later, depending on what the 4th District decides to do and what the Supreme Court decides to do. So it's indirect, but it could have something to do with some of this in getting the Water Control District, Palmar Water Control District, more engaged in this.
Are we as commissioners allowed to discuss what you just said, or is that as far as you want to go with it?
I'd prefer just
That's why I
stopping
asked.
until we finish, and I promise as soon as I have something we want to talk about, I'll ask you.
So, I think I can say this, and stop me if you will. I think the ramifications of this decision will potentially change a lot of the, certainly the process and the ongoing concerns of what happens in Palomar.
Yes, sir.
But we will wait till we hear from the Supreme Court as to whether they take it up or they don't take it up. And as Sarah said, that should be happening in the near future.
As soon as this is really an ongoing situation. We're coordinating with our partners, the South Florida Water Management District, on this. And the instant I've got something, it's the highest priority of my office. I can't assure you more.
I will also share with you, I know others have been in contact or certainly in discussion with our Sheriff's Department as to observing and monitoring what's going on out there. There is a full-on process of engagement from the Sheriff's Office. He's not taking this by any means lightly, as he doesn't take any of these kinds of things lightly. So probably not all what you wanted to hear this morning. You probably wanted some kind of an answer as to we're going to solve your problem today. That's not going to happen, but we are working on it from all sorts of different facets. Second issue, Water Management District Governing Board, Jackie Thurl-Lippisch reached out to me last week again relative to the causeway issues leaving Sewell's Point over to the island, relative to fishing. Taryn, have we done anything? Are we doing anything? Dawn?
Mr. Gorton, I'm looking at Mr. Gorton too. We were going to reach out to DOT because we were going to see if there was any signage we could do for no parking along. The issue is that the individuals are parking right in the right-of-way and then fishing directly from there rather than going down all the way down the causeway and fishing down at the lower level.
Jim Gorton, Public Works Director. Yes, we have talked with DOT. What the problem is, well, one of the problems is DOT doesn't perform their own maintenance on the bridge. They've got a contracted service that does that maintenance, and it's really on an at-will type. So they need to get a call from somebody is the way that they had been doing the work. So that means that there already is fish and nasty stuff on the sidewalk, and there already is an issue before they go out and address it. So we've been working with them to have them inspect it more frequently so that they can address those issues. They have gone out and done a couple of sweeps and cleaned it up, but it seems like when the fish are biting, we get a lot of fishermen, especially on the Stewart Causeway now. It seems to be more of a problem. The Jensen Causeway, we did an education campaign, and it's better. It's not fixed, but it's better. But now the Stewart Causeway, kind of the same thing. So I reached out to the same group that we used up in the Jensen Causeway, which is a bunch of the local fishermen, people from DOA Lures, Florida Sportsmen, and just let them know that the problem has now migrated to the other bridge, and asked that we start that education campaign again at the other one. But up in Jensen, we do have a partner in the Snook Nook who's just around the corner from there, and they were very instrumental in letting folks know when they stopped to buy bait, hey, here's the rules, let's keep this fishing open to everyone. And so it's worked a little better in Jensen than Stewart, but so those are the things that are ongoing.
Okay, and I appreciate that, and this isn't criticism. I think Jackie wants more than that, and I'm not sure what else can be done, but she, this is now her third reach out. She came here a month ago, I guess, and talked to us personally. She's called, communicated, both signage, more enforcement, FWC, whatever that means, but we need to respond to her with some sort of really definitive plan of action of what are the agencies doing, who's going to do what, who's responsible for what, where's FDOT's role and responsibility, where's FWC's role and responsibility, where's the sheriff's role and responsibility, if any. It was jam-packed yesterday and Saturday, or Sunday and Saturday on the causeway out there. One of the interesting things, the water quality is phenomenal up in, that far at least and further north, and I suspect that's bringing more fish, which is why probably people are there. And so it's great that the water quality looks beautiful, but that comes with more fish, and that means more fishermen. I'm speaking really on behalf of one of our governing board members, and she asked me to explain what our direction is. So we absolutely need to come up with a better strategy. And Jim, I appreciate what you said. From all the agencies, they need to have a plan of action. Who's doing what role do we have? What role, where's everybody's jurisdictional responsibilities fall?
So we'll put that together. In this instance, it's a state bridge. The county really doesn't have any enforcement, so we can orchestrate, and that's what our role will be on this one, is just to get all the parties together and make sure they're doing what we need to do to improve the situation out there.
And when that's done, and when there's kind of a written strategy, can we please forward that to Governing Board Member Lippisch? And
of course.
That way she'll be informed, and she'll have a record of what we said we were going to do, or what at least the agency said they were going to do, and somebody can hold somebody accountable as to what's the strategy out there.
Yeah, I mean, my dialogue with the FWC and the other offices has been, it's kind of a situation where it's manpower and enforcement, obviously, and their knee jerk is to just shut it down completely, and we don't want to do that. We know how detrimental that is to the fishermen and women out there in Martin County. So we'll do everything we can, but again, it's going to come down to enforcement and education and communication.
Yeah, that's the last time I spoke with DOT, that was their knee-jerk reaction, was to close it to fishermen. And I understand that this is some of the best pompano fishing in the Tri-County area, and people are coming from.
Now you know.
Yeah, and so people are coming from all over to get on those two causeways to do that pompano fishing. So we don't want to close the resource. And FWC, when I spoke with them last, they were very concerned about losing that. In fact, when we closed the Jensen Causeway for that period of 3 months, they were advocating the entire time to reopen. But I will put together a summary of who's doing what, and then we'll get that to Jackie.
That's great. Thank you, Jim, very much. That's all I have this morning. Ms. Grisda, do you have anything?
I just have a couple of announcements. Our HR department, in case you didn't notice, we've got a sign out front about our hiring. And we've put those out in other various locations throughout the county, just trying to get the word out for individuals that are looking for employment that we are hiring. We've had experienced anywhere from 85 vacancies, and I think now we were down in the lower 70s. But we would love to have individuals have interest in coming here to work. So we're going to have a hiring event on April 1st from 2 to 7 at the Blake Library next door here. And the first 30 minutes of that, from 2 to 2:30, will be for veterans only. And then from 2:30 to 7, we'll open it up for regular. And it's kind of an opportunity where you come in, you have the credentials, we'll do a quick check on you, and you'll get a letter of engagement that day. Equipment operators, last week we heard from that gentleman, the young man who's at South Fork and working on his technical and certifications, and he had his HVAC, which is the air conditioning component. We need them. We need them. We need all kinds of, if you think you can operate equipment, come here, we'll train you, we'll get you certified, you can move your way through the system and get your CDL license. And it's a good training ground. We love to train people. We love to promote from within. So that's it. And then the only other thing is we are watching, this is the last week of legislative session, so we're very closely monitoring what's going on there. There's a couple of things that are going to impact us financially as we put together your CIP and your budget. The sovereign immunity cap increase is going to affect us. We fall within the category population that it will be increased $100,000 on both ends of the claim. And then the additional homestead. We know that will go to the voters through a referendum in November, but the potential for that is something we really can't estimate because we don't know how many of our residents are either teachers, first responders, or caregivers. So that we're watching very closely, as well as the increases that we're seeing in wages. As you know, we've got to bring our minimum wage up to $15 an hour, And then also the increase in FRS, which is our Florida retirement system, which is set by the state. They're increasing that as well. So we're in the process of compiling these components so that we can better estimate what our impact is going to be, but everybody's going to be feeling that impact. So I just wanted, and gas and electricity and supplies, our contracts when we're going out for bid are coming in with increases. We're getting contractors who have a contract who are coming back with change orders wanting their increases because they're experiencing the same thing. So, you know, it's nationwide. I mean, I just don't think it's obviously not just Martin County, but I want you to know that your staff is mindful and we are combing through everything the best we can, and we will continue to monitor that.
Ms. Woods? I did have one last thing quickly. I had the opportunity to go out and tour the former American Custom yachts last week and the new Willis yachts. It's an interesting thing the marine industry is going through right now. It's a real dynamic change of what the industry is going through. But suffice to say, and that what triggered that thought process was the hiring issue. They are growing, they are expanding out there, which is exciting for us as a community. They too are very much looking for employees in all levels of expertise. And probably what we talked about a lot was our Reach Center that we're working on, and the timing couldn't be better for pulling that program together and starting to train individuals that are interested in whether it's the marine technical side of the world, the composite side of the world, the engine component side of the world. They're working on redoing their site plan and coming in for some additional square footage, which should be exciting for us. So anyway, there's some really interesting dynamics going on, but for those that are watching and listening to the employment side of all this, training and really kind of setting up folks coming out of high school, if they're interested, there's an amazing opportunity right now. I happened to run into someone yesterday that said that their son was going to go down to Palm Beach County and go into an apprentice program for outboard motor technical teaching. And I said, well, you know, it's funny you said that because talking to Willis, they're moving in that direction and they need that program. Mm-hmm. And so we talked about adding that component to what we're doing as well. So they're out there. I mean, there are folks out there that absolutely want to be in this industry, and we just need to match the training and the skill set, both for us internally here at the county, but also with our workforce out there in the various industries that are key to Martin County. So anyway, thanks for that. Okay, enough with all that. Department 1, Jennifer, I think we have you up first. Office of Management and Budget. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Commissioners. Jennifer Manning, OMB Director. The first item on my agenda is permission to apply for the FY 2023 Small Outreach Grant for Southeast County Line Road resurfacing. This is for the application for 2028. If successful, the grant will be awarded for $2.8 million, and it will require a match of $1.3 million, which will be programmed in the 2028 CIP. Okay, the second item is permission to accept the Land and Water Conservation Grant for the Old Palm City. The amount of the grant is for $345,000. It requires a $345,000 match, which will be coming from the District 5 funding. This is a great opportunity to fund the park amenities that the CRA and the county has been working on. It will provide residents and businesses and visitors the opportunity to walk, to picnic, to fish, to play, and enjoy the outdoors. And it provides opportunities to enhance the economic development through special events such as the farmers market, art shows, etc. No? The final item is permission to approve a budget resolution for the FY 2022 MPO Section 5305 Transportation Grant Funding, and it's for $64,197. And that is my final item.
Ms. Manning, thank you very much. Commissioner Campy.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. Manning, thank you for bringing this forward. I wanted to just take a second to thank Susan Corus and Jordan Pastorius from our Office of Community Development, OCD, right?
OCD?
Because obviously we've heard a lot of updates and reports on what's happening along Map Road. It's sort of an incremental process, multi-part. The large and the very successful, I believe, reworking of Map Road with the drainage and environmental issues, the paving, the lighting, the landscaping is all done, and I have gotten 99% positive feedback on that. I think it's really given the people that live directly there, or most of the people that live in Palm City, a real sense of pride and purpose. The next phase of that is what you were discussing this morning, which is for the folks that are not familiar, the area between north of the fire station and south of Rex Centel's business, veterinary business there. It was a stormwater retention pond and cleansing pond for the runoff that occurs in that corridor. But it was done so beautifully that we always felt, those of us that were involved, we always felt that it looked like a park. So for the last year or so, we've been working diligently on putting a walking path around the entire thing. It comes all the way behind the fire station, and landscaping and some benches there. So it's not meant to draw everyone from the county there, but it's meant to draw the folks that live in that area. The next phase, and we're calling that area Palm City Place. The next phase of that is up in the front corner on the east or southwestern corner where it meets right by Map Road. There used to be a white house there. It was Mabel Witham's parents' house. We did not destroy that historic structure. We relocated it thanks to Rick Mansell, who picked up the tab completely for moving that structure on his own. And so that left us a nice area to work there. And again, not to be a major park facility, but to be a place where people along that area could come, and there'll be a little gazebo bandstand for small music events. There'll be concrete ping pong tables. There'll be concrete cornhole. There'll be tables with benches that have the checkerboard motif, so you could come and play checkers or chess. There'll be a fountain and several other things that we're working on. And I was a bit frustrated because I wanted to move along at a quick pace, but our staff came forward with this opportunity to receive a grant by presenting what we were looking to do for a grant. And so we did receive the grant, $345,000, and I want to compliment our staff for doing that. It did require a match, which I'll tell my colleagues I'll be taking from district funds for an additional $345,000. Those of us that are familiar with the planning and what it's going to look like are very excited. I want to compliment and thank Dr. Rex Centel, because right in front of that area, he has donated the money, substantial amount of money, for a four-sided pedestal clock like people are familiar seeing in communities and downtowns, like that sort of that really nostalgic kind of a clock. And then on the far side, on the western side of the lake that's there, he's also contributed very significantly to helping us build a T-pier where families can come and fish there, or just there'll be some benches where you can just sit. When you're that far back off of Map Road, it's very beautiful there. It's peaceful. And so without a lot of money in an area that the county already owned, in a facility that's already been constructed, we've turned it into another thing that, of course, Palm City residents can be happy with and proud of, but all Martin County residents. And it's the next step in what we're trying to do there to complement the existing businesses, to say thank you for sticking through that process, and also to entice and encourage other businesses. And there are several that are already in the works. So I wanted to especially thank Susan Corus and Jordan, because they work on that project like it's the only project that they have to work on. And my colleagues will tell you they have a lot of projects to work on. So congratulations to our team. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
That's great. Anything else?
Now I'll make a motion to accept
There you go.
staff's recommendation.
Second it.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All is opposed. Motion carries unanimously. Next item up is Department 2, contracts that meet a threshold for board approval of $1 million or greater. Christy Brotherton.
Palm City
Morning.
resident.
Good morning, Christy Brotherton, Purchasing Manager. The first item for your consideration today is a continuing services contract for the installation of dedicated electrical branch circuits and grinder pump control panels for the Martin County Connect to Protect Septic to Sewer Conversion Program, also the longest title ever. This.
Is there an acronym that can?
I wish. This has a maximum not to exceed value of $1,500,000 with a maximum not to exceed term of 5 years. Staff is recommending that the board award the contract to Emin Electrical Contractor and move that the board authorize the county administrator or designee to execute any and all documents related to this request. The second contract for your consideration is another continuing services contract for numerical modeling engineering related to coastal and estuarine systems. This contract has a maximum not to exceed value of $1,750,000 with a not to exceed term of 5 years. Staff recommends that the board award the contract to the following 3 firms, which is Coastal Protection Engineering, South Florida Engineering and Consulting, and Sustainable Coastal Solutions, and that move that the board authorize the county administrator or designee to execute any and all documents related to this request. Next, we have a change order for the Old Palm City Neighborhood Restoration Project. The purpose of this change order is additional scoping was needed to address drainage and survey work, which was required to complete the project. The original bid quantities did not account for the additional excavation and embankment needed for the project. This is the final change order. Staff is recommending that the board approve change order number 4 to the contract with Heavy Civil Incorporated in the amount of $36,898.29. And move that the board authorize the county administrator or designee to execute any and all documents related to this request. And the last item we have is another change order for the CR A1A Dixie Highway resurfacing project. This is for the segment of roadway between Indian Street to Jefferson Street. The purpose of this change order is that Martin County staff requested a revision to the scope of work, which was based on revised project plans, to relocate a crosswalk and updated county safety standards for pedestrian crossings. Staff recommends that the board approve change order number 2 to the contract with J.W. Cheatham in the amount of $242,394.94, and move that the board approve the CIP revision to allocate funding from the general resurfacing budget to complete this change order, and move that the board authorize the county administrator or designee to execute any and all documents related to this request. And that concludes this item.
Christie, thank you very much. Any questions, commissioners?
No, I'll move approval.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Awesome. Last item on the agenda today is Department 3, Parks and Recreation. Adopt a resolution approving the acceptance of a public purpose lease agreement between Martin County and the La Matina Management, Inc. to manage the Sailfish Sands Golf Course Clubhouse. Mr. Abate, good morning.
Good morning, Kevin Abate, Parks and Recreation Director. Today, I bring before you a management agreement for La Matina Management to operate the soon-to-be open, hopefully this summer in July, Clubhouse, which is our restaurant, bar, and hitting bays. This is a big project for the county. This would be a 10-year public purpose lease between Martin County and La Matina Management and for the newly constructed clubhouse for a 10-year period. It also has 2 renewals of 5 years at the discretion of the county. Some of the background quickly is the agenda is a 10-year lease, as I said. It's for the 14,198 square foot space, which is a 5,600 square foot restaurant, event room, 20 covered climate control hitting bays. The county went through the RFP process on October 28th, 2021. We went through the selection committee process as well, and the county duly conducted our mandatory pre-bid with La Matina, who was the sole bidder, and we presented the proposal to the selection committee on December 20th. Following negotiations with the county's negotiation team, La Matina Management was recommended to receive the award. Some of the details of the lease: it's a 10-year lease with a monthly payment of $42,594 or $3 a square foot for the first 2 years or 24 months, and then after that, the monthly rent will increase to $60,341 at $4.25 a square foot until the end of the term. Rent will be adjusted with the USD, Department of Labor's Consumer Price Index, and the gross rent to the county at the end of the 10-year term is $6,815,040. The lease provides 2 additional 5-year renewals that are exercisable by La Matina at the discretion of the county. The general terms of the lease set forth that La Matina's use for the maintenance management of the clubhouse provides for specific operating conditions and obligations of La Matina, including operating hours, financial record keeping, and the county's access to the building, event programming, website maintenance, insurance requirements, employee background checks, and equipment maintenance. This recommended item move that the board adopt a resolution accepting and approving the public purpose lease with La Matina Management and authorizing the chair to execute any and all documents necessary to complete the transaction. And that concludes my presentation. And I also have Mr. La Matina here in the audience if you wish to hear from him.
I would, actually, if you, can you hold your questions?
Mine's just a clarification question.
Sure.
This is the clubhouse and the hitting bays, not the golf course, not the driving range.
Correct. It's the building, correct, the 2-story building.
Thank you.
Can we bring him up?
Yep. Mr. La Matina?
Might be just a really good idea to introduce yourself and... Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hi, my name is Mike LaMattina. I'm the president of LaMattina Management. Like Kevin said, I was awarded the contract back in December, and really excited to kind of get started. I just want to give a big shout out to Kevin to get this project started and the inception of it. I believe it's a grand slam for the county. It's an amazing facility. Everyone that was a part of it, getting it approved, thank you. And I'm ready to kind of get started. I'm pretty eager and to kind of make it a staple in the county. So, thank you.
Great. We wish you the best of luck and future and working together, and hope it all works out. Commissioner Hurd.
Excited.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about your work history that prepared you for bidding for this job?
Sure. Yeah. So I've been working in Martin County for the last 15 years. I'm the general manager of Sailor's Return, which is a pretty popular restaurant in the area. So I've been the GM there since 2008, and big Italian family. So mom is from Italy, dad is second generation. So cooking, hosting is kind of in my blood. My brother is an executive chef down south at the Boca Resort. So just managing people, managing staff, managing the restaurant. Right now at Sailors, we're doing over 1,000 covers a day between lunch and dinner. So super high volume background. And I would just say the biggest thing is managing staff. I'm not only running a restaurant, I feel like I'm the restaurant psychologist, dealing with 120 people on staff and managing personalities and kind of making it mesh and making it happen. So so I'm ready.
We're all very aware of the Sailor's Return success, and I'm delighted that you applied. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So one suggestion, we had lunch there the other day. It was
Yeah.
great.
Yes.
More parking.
No, well, that's exactly where I'm going. I wish Troy McDonald were here from the city. I think, that's probably the one thing that's beating you up the most.
Everywhere in Stewart.
What would be really cool there, and I know it's a lot of money, you should put a parking deck on top of that thing.
Yeah, I suggested it to Jay Alexander, who owned or leases the property. Parking is an ongoing battle. Obviously, we have valet 7 days a week, lunch and dinner, and even then, I get screamed at a lot for the parking, and we try to do our best, but we're starting the day with maybe 3 parking spots for the restaurant. So it's an ongoing issue, which we've communicated that to the officials and the parking code enforcement.
Just watching it the other day, I mean, we kind of got to observe it all for a little bit. If there was one more deck on top, right, you double what you have, and then the ceiling level of that you could turn into a park that would be pretty much at the elevation of the bridge, but you'd have the spectacular view from a park above the parking deck. It could be a really cool city asset. You guys need it.
I am all down for more parking.
Yeah, right.
The wrong guy.
I mean, I would love to help.
Well, so I think that's maybe where the conversation starts. I mean, it's something.
He's our golf course guy.
Really?
He's
leaving that headache behind.
I understand.
Parking at the golf course.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for that, and best of luck, and we wish you the best of success.
Thank you. It's going to be obviously a lot of hard work, but it's what I've been doing my whole life, so I'm ready.
Super. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Anything else, commissioners, on this one? We need a motion.
Move approval.
I do have one comment to make. I had my line, I apologize. So on just Scribner's error on page 16, and just a lot of eyes were on this, but it got missed. We just have to, we'll have to have Mr. LaMattina re-sign the lease. The word, under the section of leasee's duties regarding public records, the word dog park needs to be replaced by clubhouse. So apologize for that. We didn't want to give any extra work. Yeah, so we'll get there. And then the last thing was just with this.
That on the upper deck of the parking garage.
We can do that. I can imagine what he wants to do down that place. So the other thing is that just to be clear on this lease, the term of lease will begin when he's able to officially get in the building, and of course administratively we'll decide when that will occur. There's still a number of things that have to happen regarding permitting and alcohol and licensing, certificate of occupancy, and then furniture delivery. So we want to make sure that when we get him in there, that his term begins so he can be as profitable as he can be, and we can obviously collect our monthly payment. And I just want to make of note of that. That's all.
So the motion needs to include that.
Correct.
Dog park too.
Yeah. So to replace the word dog park with clubhouse on section 19I, and then to make sure that the lease term dates will begin upon certificate of occupancy.
Okay, so we need a motion to reflect that last.
Move approval with the amendments.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Huh?
Golf lease.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was public at the end. Mr. McChrystal.
And I am equally as excited for Mr. LaMattina to be here, so I don't have to run this thing. So.
Good morning. I hope the place has success. Talked to Kevin earlier. He answered a lot of my questions that I had, so I'll make it brief. There are a couple things, though, that I've had answered, but I think the public would like to know. One, especially, is how do we decide which facilities we're going to run and then which facilities we're going to lease out? I think the public would like a better idea how you come up to those conclusions. And then I looked through the whole thing, looked at the numbers, and in a perfect world, we would be sharing. We did just spend over $10 million for a top-of-the-line facility, and in a perfect world, we'd get a little cut of the projected $2.9 million profit a year. But I do understand how your negotiating tools were limited since there's only one applicant. I get it. But anyways, what strikes me most is, and again, it has to go back to this Yellowstone theme, this big and grand. I want you to, it wasn't that long ago when 4 girls, Megan McChrystal, Allie Bodeman, Jennifer Bodeman, and Christina Jones, 4 girls from working class parents, very working class parents, okay, won the state title, the girls golf state title, by 63 strokes. And it was because of this facility, this place where all kids could come and all kids could afford golf. All right? And I'm wondering, and I'm hoping that we can still stay there. It is a public facility, and I hope that all kids will be able to afford golf there, okay? And I'm looking at $30 green fees and $16 burgers right now. So, yeah, that's a lot of people in Martin County, no big deal. But it doesn't fit that mold of maybe everyone being able to afford just being there. Okay? So as we move forward, I hope we find ways to, I could care less about the adults, really. But for the kids, I'm hoping we can do something that makes them be able to afford to even be there. All right. Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you, Mr. McChrystal, for your comments. Mr. Abate?
Just in closing, from a pure kids programming perspective, we do have the first tee of the Treasure Coast. That will be a part of this program, providing free golf for kids that are disadvantaged and can't afford a golf. Our pro shop opened today. They have an office space in our pro shop. We also have our juniors programming, and it's also free and affordable. So we'll be focusing on program. We realize that we are a public facility. Our rates need to be affordable, and the only way to grow this game is to get golf clubs in the hands of kids, and that's will be our big focus.
And unfortunately, the sign of the times, Frank, I think a $16 cheeseburger goes along with $4.69 a gallon of gas in Martin County, unfortunately. We had a motion, we had a second. Anybody else from the public wish to comment? Frank was the only public speaker form I had on this item. Seeing none, back to the commission. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. All is opposed. Motion passes unanimously. Best wishes. Really.
Yeah, and I'd like to thank Mr. LaMartina and his team. This is a new venture for us, so his success is essential for us being able to move forward with other similar partnerships. And so we really appreciate the fact that you came forward, and we want this to be successful because this is our first venture in this area.
I totally agree with that.
Okay,
Thank you.
we've reached the end of our meeting. Anybody from the public have any public comment this morning that they'd like to end the meeting with? If not, I'll come back to the commission. Commissioner Hurd, anything?
I'm set.
Commissioner Campy?
Set.
I'm all set. Thank you.
I'm good, thanks.
And I'm all set. With that, we'll adjourn our meeting